I just had a expanded edition of my book, Leadership Strategy and Tactics, just came out. And one of the things I added into it was this section on decision making. And I gave a list of things to consider when you are making a decision. Like, pretty straightforward. These are the things you need to think about. And I set it up, it's sort of like a loop. It's what I think about when I have to make a decision. Things like how much time I have, the laws of combat leadership, your ego, your emotions, the strategic and tactical mission objectives, these kind of things to consider. And I explain, of course, in the book why they're important, how you manage them. I talk about like questions to ask yourself that will make sure that you're thinking about these topics from an objective position. But at the end of this list, I make two very important points about what you need to do to utilize this loop, but really it's beyond that. It's things that there's two things that we need to kind of always do. These are like underlying principles that if you can adapt these to not just decision making, yes, but just life in general, it's going to help you out in a lot of different ways. The first one, you've probably heard, you've definitely heard me say before, you have to be detached, right? When you're in a problem, you can't see anything. You definitely can't see the solution. The other thing when you're not detached is you can't even see the impact of the decisions that you're making, right? Because you're in it, so you make a decision to change something, but you can't, oftentimes you can't really see the change from inside where you're at. You have to be away. You have to step back to look at it. You know, if you were steering a boat out in the open ocean, when you're in the boat and you change course, you can't really tell that you changed course, right? Because everything looks kind of the same inside the boat. You got to get up at altitude to see where you've shifted your course. So you can't really see the changes that happen, or when there's subtle changes that are happening. This is something that we talked about last week too. Subtle changes build up over time, but if you're not detached, you don't notice them. You know, when you had like the buddy that you didn't see for 3 months and they started lifting, or they stopped lifting, they started getting on that pizza and beer diet. If you were with them the whole time, you wouldn't notice that they put on 28 pounds of fat, right? Maybe you'd but you wouldn't notice it the same way. If you didn't see them for 3 months and then they just show up and they're gaining 28 pounds of fat, pizza and beer, you're like, bro, what's going on, man? You okay? So if you're not detached from it, you can't see it. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. In life, take a step back. And the other thing is, you've got to keep an open mind about things. And this is just so critical. It's critical for decision making, and it's critical for life to keep your mind open. And an open mind is counterintuitive. Nature wants you to close your mind. The world wants you to close your mind. Survival instincts want you to close your mind, because other ideas are threatening to us. The way they come at us, right? They threaten what we believe. Like you got your little beliefs that you have, right? You know how the algorithm is set up for you on Instagram or on YouTube to show you what you already believe in. Yeah. Because that's what you like as a human. That's what I like as a human. I want to watch something that says jiu-jitsu's really good, right? People that are vegetarians get fed vegetarian information. People that are carnivores get fed carnivore information. Yeah. The carnivore diet guy doesn't just pop into the vegan's diet algorithm.
No.
Right?
Very rare.
Why? Because it threatens what they believe in. And they don't like that. So they just don't even click it. So YouTube knows that and sends you a nice another vegan video. Yeah. And you're like, see? Yeah. Or if you're a carnivore, you're like, see? So you gotta accept the fact that when you open your mind, your very beliefs are going to be challenged, and that shouldn't be seen as negative. That should be seen as positive. That should be a good thing. It also changes it challenges our reality, right? Because what you believe goes hand in hand with what your reality is, kind of. Mm-hmm. So when you believe something, and then I disrupt that, but then I also disrupt the reality that you live in. You know, like what happened with jiu-jitsu and karate.
Yep.
You know, back in the day, these dudes literally thought they could kick anybody's ass because they've been studying karate for 22 years. And they were a black belt with the degrees on it, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
They were 4th Dan black belt, right? Sure. So they were just a black belt, though.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a literal blue belt in jiu-jitsu come and just roll them up, man. Just choke them out, no factor. And then they go again, no factor.
Yeah.
Their whole reality got challenged. So the good people opened their minds and were like, yo, I need to learn this. The people that had closed minds would say things like, well, you know, in a street fight, I would have poked your damn mock eyeball or what. You know, they just had their little lies that they told themselves. Yeah. Then they just closed their mind, like, didn't train that. We don't train ground fighting. You wouldn't want to be in a ground fight in a street fight. Right?
Yep.
That's one of the craziest things ever.
Yeah.
No, why would you want to go to the ground in a street fight? No, you wouldn't want to go to the ground in a street fight. Of course you wouldn't.
Right.
If you go there, though, best know what to do. So their whole reality was challenged, and people don't like that. Some people opened their mind and said, yep, this is a new reality. I need to learn it. Some people said, nope, that stuff doesn't work. It's not good to go. What about multiple attackers?
Yeah.
Bruh. So it challenges that as well. It also, obviously, both those things are tied into your ego. So your ego wants to have a closed mind. Your ego doesn't want to hear any new ideas. It's just shut down, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't want to hear about what you eat because, like, I know what I eat, and what I eat is better. I don't want to hear your workout program. I don't want to hear about your martial arts experience. I don't want to hear about the new tactics that you develop. I don't want to hear about what you believe in. I don't want to, I don't want to hear any of that because I already know everything. So all these things that we're trying to protect just closes our minds for us. So that's why I say we all have an instinct to close our minds. But the world around you, if you keep your mind closed, the world around you changes. And over time, you won't be connected to reality anymore, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't open your mind, you're not putting all the variables into the calculus that you're using to make decisions about your life. You are in a vacuum when you have a closed mind. So we just have to be careful. And these are the two elements. And really in the book, I just talk about the elements as tools for decision making. But I just want to let everyone know it's tools for life. It's tools to constantly detach and keep an open mind. Let the counter arguments in. Welcome the opposing point of view. Ask yourself questions. Where can I be wrong? What am I not seeing? How can I see more? Open your mind. You have to pry your brain open. You have to pry it open. It's like it's labor to pry your brain open and say, "Yep, you know what? That makes sense. I didn't understand that. I didn't know that perspective. I didn't see what you're seeing." So if you do that, you can understand the world better and you can navigate the problems, the issues, and the decisions that you have to make in a faster and more effective way. So there you go. For your mind.
A lot of times you say our reality, our beliefs, or all that, we maybe subconscious, maybe even consciously attach it to our identity, like it, so whether it be martial arts, political, diet, the whole thing, it's kind of attached to our identity.
I didn't even bring up like the political thing, right?
Oh yeah, it's everything. I mean, a lot of times we feel like, the political thing is like one of the super hot button things or whatever, but it's kind of everything, bro. I mean, it depends on who you're talking to.
You're saying it's kind of everything. It's everything in your life.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
You're not saying really politics is everything. You're just saying like, hey, I got my diet.
Right.
I got my workout program. Hey, wait a second. Is this just us? What do normal people talk about? Well, you know what normal people talk about? Like sports and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll be like, no, the Chicago Bulls in 19 whatever, they were definitely, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People get in heated arguments about this kind of stuff too.
Yeah, I could see it.
It's their belief system.
From what I understand, because I mean, sports is kind of hard. Then again, I don't know. I'm not deep in the sports fan game, but sports is kind of hard to defend. Look, if you're a Detroit Lions fan,
dude, what about Ford versus Chevy though?
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying. You get that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, for sure. Or certain guns or certain tactics is a bit. But again, it's like it's a lot of stuff. It's like kind of okay. So the hot button topics, like for everyone, from what I understand, is politics, diet. How to raise kids and religion.
Oh, how to raise kids. Good one.
Yeah. So that's, because there's and when you think about it, when you look at them all, there's like so many effective methods of all those,
Yeah.
Like think about it.
But mine is the best.
Mine is the best. And if you say yours is the best, that means mine's not the best. Now I'm wrong. No, I'm a different person than I thought I was. Cause and a lot of times we dedicate like a certain amount of our brain power to these things. Like consider like diet. It's literally how you freaking sustain yourself, right?
System.
How